We are live because we're alive. Learn the Torah portion. New Torah portion, Lech-Lecha. A whole week we get to live with Avram Avinu, with Abraham, our forefather, and the beginnings of the Jewish people. Till now we've had world history. Now, beginning of Jewish history. All right, folks, let's get right into it. It's lengthy. We are in the book of Genesis, book of Bereshis, chapter 12, verse number 1. L'chaim. L'chaim. V'yomer Hashem, and Hashem said, El Avram, Lech-Lecha, go for yourself, Me'artzecha, from your land, Meladecha, from your place of upbringing, your birthplace, Beis Avicha, from your father's home, El Haaretz Asher Arecha, to the land that I will show you. Rashi, Lech-Lecha. Rashi's bothered me, what do you mean go for yourself? Go for yourself, what does that mean? So Rashi explains, L'hanoscha, for your pleasure, L'tevoscha, for your benefit. Sham, there where you're going to go, Escha L'goy Gadol, I'm going to make you into a great nation. And here you're not going to merit to have children. If you won't have children, by the way, it's hard to have a great nation, right? And furthermore, you'll benefit by going. I'm going to let the world know your nature, your name. Tivcha is your nature. In other words, your greatness. World's going to know. Okay. What do you have in the Chumash here? You have continuation, the Artzecha?
What do you mean? Lech-Lecha.
No. In Rashi, what's the next Rashi? Artzecha?
No.
Huh?
No.
Yeah, after Lech-Lecha.
So he does the next pasuk.
Yeah.
So in this Chumash, it's in the next pasuk. In that Chumash, it's in the next pasuk. Chabad.org, it's in the same pasuk.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So, okay, we're going to do over here. Ma'artzecha, from your land. Halakvar yatsa misham. Didn't he already go out from there? Im aviv, with his father, Abal Lachara ad Haran. Last week's Torah portion, he already left with his father and he went to Haran. So he left his father, that land. Ella kachamer loyli hisrachak oid misham. But this is what he told him: remove yourself even further from there. But say mi beis avicha, and go from your father's home, because he went with his father, right? Now I tell him, go further away. Asher areka, the land that I will show you. By the way, yeah. Yes, it is. To the land that I will show you. Rashi. By the way, it's in the next Rashi at the end of the next Rashi. So I guess there's a difference of opinions in how Rashi wrote this. Is it a part in this verse or in the next verse? Asher araka, to the land that I will show you. He didn't tell him where he's going. He just said, the land I'm going to show you. Lo gila, he did not reveal to him. Haaretz miyad, immediately, the land that he's going to immediately, kedei l'chava be'einav, in order to make it precious in his eyes. But l'seis loy schar, and to give him reward. I'll call diba v'diba on every word. As and similar. As bincha tzichlitcha asher ahavta es Yitzchak. Similar, we see next week's Torah portion where he takes his son, his only son, the one that he loves, Yitzchak, right, for the offering. So each word is more of a reward. And similar to this, to one of the mountains that I will show you. So similarly, I admonish with an admonishment that I will tell you. In other words, to land, he's not telling him because without telling him, I'm not sure how he makes it more precious in your eyes if you're not being told. I'm not clear on that. The reward I get because you're going there with faith in God. Okay, not so clear on that. Okay, now verse number 2. Ve'escha, and I will make you legoy gadol, into a goy, a nation, gadol, a great nation. Va'varechecha, and I will bless you. Va'agadla, and I will make you great. Shmecha, your name. Ve'ebracha, and you will be the source of blessing. You will be the blessing. Rashi. So remember, okay. Well, I'm going to make you into a great nation. So Rashi is bothered. I don't know. No. Okay, he's tying in from the previous. Yeah. I'm going to make the why lafisha aderech, because the journey garemes l'sheish dvarim. Journey, when a person travels, there's three things that happen that are negative. Mematis rivia, you diminish in reproduction, right? In other words, when you're traveling, you're not going to have children as much because the travel, is itself diminishing in the traveling itself, right? Mematis is a moment, it diminishes in money, right? Because when you're traveling, you're not making money. You're not working. You're spending and you're not working. Exactly. Mematis is a shame and diminishes the person's name because the good reputation that you get in one place. Well, if you're traveling, that reputation isn't building on itself because you're going somewhere else. No one knows you. Got to start from scratch. Lekach, therefore, who's that's why Avram needed three blessings here. Because God promised him al banim on having sons, right? Which al mammon regarding money, ba'al Hashem, and regarding reputation. Zehu, and this is what it means. That this is what it means. I'm going to make your name great. I'm going to add a letter into your name. How am I making your name great? Literally, because right now he's called Avram. Later he's going to be called Avraham with a hey. So his name's going to become greater, and that makes him great, right? By doing that, Shad Aksha, because until now, Shimcha Avram, your name is Avram. I'm here now, here on in Avraham, which is not going to be right now, by the way. So I'm not exactly clear how in the travel that's happening. And how that, why Rashi is saying this over here when it's not happening over here, I don't understand. We need the Rebbe Sikh on that. But in any case, let's go continue with Rashi. Rashi says that the numeric value of Avram is 248, which is juxtaposed to the body parts of the person. In other words, he's going to become so great that he will have mastery over all 248 organs of the body.
Limbs.
Which we will have that later. Okay. Next Rashi. So Escha legoy gadol means I'm going to make you into great. And godless. Sorry, one second. Escha. One second. Remember, no, Rashi. It's very confusing Rashi over here because he's giving the last thing in the verse first. That I'm going to make your name great. I'm adding a name, right? I'm adding to your name, but that's the last thing in the verse. It says the God l'shemecha, or no, the second last. And I will bless you, but mommy, this is money. So this is the first thing. No, second, about I'm gonna right. Be a bracha, and you will be a blessing. A bracha soon be adecha. That the blessings are given to over to you. Until now, they were in my hand. The blessings. Adam. I blessed Adam. There's Noach and Noach. And you, Omeachshav, then you, and now from now on, you bless whoever you want. This God's giving over. God's giving over the power of blessing to Avraham. Right? Till now, it was in God's hands. Now he's giving it over to Avraham, which means to the Jewish people. Right? Okay. Now, Davar Acher, alternative explanation. So this is the first explanation. Oh boy, there's so much here. Alternative explanation. What does mean going to make you a great nation? This is in reference in the Shemona Esrei that we say the God of Abraham in the first blessing. And I will bless you. So that's the first thing. I'm going to make you into a great nation. And then I will bless you. What does that mean? In reference to your son, Yitzchak, that we're going to say, that we say in Shemona Esrei, I will make your name great. Yaakov, this is in reference to the God of Jacob. You might think that I'm going to conclude with all of them. Talmud Leimer, but the verse continues, that you will be the blessing. With you, it's going to be finishing the bracha. In other words, Magin Avraham, Veloy Bahem, but not with them. Wow. Got that? As we have in the Shemona Esrei. Chaim l'chaim. Okay, so obviously we have the question, why would Rashi have the second explanation? Like, that completely off the wall. Shemona Esrei. How does that fit in here? The Shemona Esrei. Into what's going on over here. You follow my question? Yeah? The Amida that we daven today. It's like 2,500 years old only. And this is a story from 4,000. This is a story from 4,000 years ago. Almost, 3,600 years ago. How would it be alluding to that in the future? Why is it, and seemingly about him? Okay. Tzorachiyin. We need it. And why do we need a second explanation? What's wrong with the first one that you need the second one? Okay. Verse number 3. Yeah, we're good? And those who will bless you, and I will bless those who bless you. And those who curse you, I will curse. And they will be blessed through you. All the families of the earth, meaning of mankind. Right? Oh boy, how does this make sense? Didn't he just give over to Avram that the blessings are in his hands? Now he's going to bless. He just gave it to Avram that he's going to be the source of blessing. Now he's saying, I'm going to bless those who bless you. Very nice. But how does that fit in with what we just learned? And the families of mankind will be blessed through you. There are many interpretation to this phrase, but this is a simple meaning. A man says to his son, be like Avraham. Likewise, every time it says in the verse that they will be blessed through you, meaning through the Jewish people, the following proves that this is so. By you, Israel, Israel will bless, saying, "May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh." Whoa, what the heck is going on over here? right? Because that's what we give the blessing. You should be like Ephraim and Menashe, but I'm not exactly clear what he wants to say by that.
What's the question? What's the question, Robert?
He's saying the blessing is through you,
Yeah.
and we see that how so? Because this is the blessing that we give to people, right? To our children, that should be like Ephraim and Menashe. Okay, that's what proves it. The verse itself is coming to make the fact.
They are his
Right.
descendants. So
Okay. All right. Fine. Yelech Avram, and he went Avram, kasher diber elav Hashem, as it was spoken to him by God. Yelech itay Lot, and he went with him Lot. Avram ben Chamish Shanim, and Avram was 5 years, Veshivim Shana, and 70 years, 75 years, B'tzesim Charan, when he left Charan. Yikach Avram, and Avram took Es Sarah Ishtai, his wife Sarah, Vesloit, and Sarai, yeah, Vesloit ben Achiv, and Loit, he's the uncle, the nephew, the son of his brother. Vez called Rechusham, and all of their wealth, Asher Achashuv, that they acquired, and the souls that they made in Haran, and they went out, and went to Canaan, to the land of Canaan. And they came to the land of Canaan. Rashi in number 5. Asher also Haran. What does it mean that they made souls that they made? How do you make souls? So what Rashi explains, that they took them in under the wings of the divine presence. Avram Megayer Nashim. Avram would convert the men. The Sarah Megayer Nashim, and Sarah would convert the women. And Torah considers it as if they made them, right? Because a person who converts the individual to as if they made them, right? And the simple meaning of the text, so that's not the simple meaning. What's the simple meaning? Avadim mishvachas, it means slaves and slave women. Sheikanu lahem, that they acquired for themselves. Kamasha also is called a kaved hazel, like they amassed this great wealth. And the fact that's amassing wealth. And why is it using the term asa, right? Like asher asu. What do you mean that you made? Because you will attain success. Lashon kaina is acquiring and amassing, like to acquire, right? That's the idea. Okay. V'yavor Avram ba'aretz, and Avram traveled. He passed through the land ad makom Shechem, until he came to Shechem, right, which is today Nablus. I mean, that's called Nablus, Shechem still. Ad Eloin Moire, until Eloin, the plain of Moire, by Kanani Asbaris, and the Canaanites were then in the land. Okay, we knew that. Rashi's going to bring up that. Let's see Rashi. V'yavar Avram Baris, he passed through the land. Nichnas V'seichem means he entered into it. Right. Second. Ad Malkim Shechem, until he reached the site of Shechem. The Yispalel al Bnei Yaakov. Why did he go there? To pray for the sons of Yaakov, when they would come to wage war with Shechem. Right. So, in other words, this is explaining why he chose this particular place to go to, because he prayed there. If you remember, Shimon and Levi, they battled against Shechem because they took Dinah and so on. Alain Moire, the plain of Moire, who Shechem, which is Shechem. God showed Abraham Hara Grizim, the mountain of Grizim, Bahar Abel, and the mount of Abel. Shesham Kiblu Israel, that the Jewish people they accepted over there Shavuos HaTorah, the oath of the Torah. Oh boy. In other words, we already said it's Shechem. Why do you have to give another place to indicate? It's like if I told you the northwest corner, meet me at the northwest corner. Now I'm giving you more indication. Why do I have to do that? Yeah, I don't have to tell you, oh, next to the Starbucks. Right? For us, we got to do that because we're not so, so I got to say that to you, or you got to say that to me. But Torah doesn't, it's superfluous. So therefore, Rashi is explaining what does it mean? It means that in that place where the Jewish people would accept the oath to observe the Torah before, if you recall, the end of Dvarim, the end of Deuteronomy, when Moshe, at the end of his life, was empowering the Jewish people. Okay, got that? Everybody with us? Okay, and the Canaanites were in the land. So we know that already because it says he's going to the land of Canaan, right? He came to the land of Canaan. Well, who else is in the land if not the Canaanites, right? Well, the Canaanites was in the process of conquering the land of Israel. What do you mean then in the land? Meaning then in the land they were conquering it to make it their land. Mizar shel Shem, and they conquered it from the offspring of Shem. Shechelka shel Shem nafla, for the portion for it fell in the portion of Shem. Keshechelik noyach chilak noyach is sa'aretz lebanab. When Noach apportioned the earth to his sons, right? Noach had 3 sons. He apportioned the world to his 3 sons. Shem, who is a progenitor of Abraham, right? Got the land of this land. Shenemar, as it says in Malki Tzedek Melech Shalem, as it says in Malki Tzedek was the king of Shalem. And Malki Tzedek was Shem. Lefikach, because of this, God said to Abraham, to your offspring, I will give this land. Also, in the future, I will return it to your children. Right? Shehem is Shel Shem, because they're the offspring of Shem. So again, Noach, after the flood, he gave that portion of the land to Shem. It was being conquered now by the Canaanites from Shem. And God is saying, I'm going to return it to you as it was taken from you. The Canaanites took it from Shem. I'm going to return it to you in the future. That's why the verse is saying that the Canaanites were then in the land, conquering the land from Shem. Got it? Wow. Yeah. Okay, amazing. Okay, verse 7. Yeah. Yep. Vayelech Avram, and Avram went kasher. Oh, so wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah. Vayera Hashem, and Hashem appeared to Avram. Vayomer. So it's interesting. Before he spoke to him, right? And now it says he appeared to him. And Vayomer, and he said, Lezarecha, to your seed, to your offspring, etain, I will give Esa'aretz, Hazais, this land. Vayivan Sham Mizbeach, he built there an altar, La Hashem, to God, Hanirei love that appeared to him. Okay. Rashi, number 7. Viv and Shamiz Beyach, and he built there an altar. Absurus Hazera, on the tidings that he will have children. Absurus Eretz Yisrael, on the tidings that he's going to get the land of Israel, will be given to him. Right, because it says there. Why does it say he built there? Obviously, where else is he going to build it? Where he was. Why say there? Because there, meaning because of the tidings that he's going to get the land of Israel. Right? Um, how does Rashi know that it's about how? Oh, because it said, look what the verse says. The verse says, to your seed, your offspring, I'm going to give. So it means he's going to have offspring, right? Right now, he didn't have any children. It means you're going to have offspring. You're going to have a people coming forth from you. So therefore, he built for that. Rashi adds to that also about the land, right? Where's that in the verse? Because well, no, actually it says Haaretz Hazois. No, Lezercha Shetin is Haaretz Hazois. So it's both things. So I don't understand why it has to be Zois, this land. Okay, emphasizing this land as opposed to any other land. So it's both things. Yes. Okay, got it. Verse number 8. Yetak Misham, and he relocated from there, Hahara, to the mountain Mikadim, the base, Kel, he from the east. He relocated to the mountain east of Kel, and he pitched his tent, Haloi, base Kel, Miyam. So from the west of base Kel, the I Mikedem, and I is from the east. Even Shamizbeach, and he built there an altar, La Hashem to God, V'yikra Sham, V'yikra B'Shem Hashem, and he called out in the name of God. Okay, V'yatek Misham. So he relocated there. Oyhala means his tent he relocated. Mikedem, the base Kel, east of base Kel, Mizrach Shel base Kel. Nimtzas, it comes out base Kel, B'Maravai was to the west. Tanema is Kel Miyam. Okay. Ayalai Ayalaksi. It's written her tent, but it's pronounced his tent. First he pitched as Ayalishta, his wife's tent, then afterwards his own. Okay. Why is that important to know? Meaning that it teaches us that a man has to provide for his wife proper housing. Even Shamizbech, and he built there an altar, and he prophesies that his children are destined to stumble over there on the sin of Achan in the book of Joshua, and he prayed for them there. Okay. Number 9. Rashi's bothered by the fact that the Torah is consistently telling us names of places. It's not telling us just, that we know the geography of something. Because it's telling us because of the things that he did there. Okay. Number 9, Visa. And he traveled. He journeyed. Avram. Haloich v'naseh, going and journeying, Hanegba, to the south. Rashi, number 9, Haloich v'naseh, he's going and he's traveling. Leprokim, at intervals. Why? Because if it was that he was just traveling without intervals, without stopping here and there, then it would just say nasai, travel. going, this means Yeshiv Khan, he would dwell here, for a month or more, and then he would travel from there. And he would pitch his tent in another place. And all the travels, though, were towards the south. To go to the south of the land of Israel, and that is in the direction of Israel, of Jerusalem rather. Yehuda, which is in the portion of the tribe of Judah. That they took a portion in the south of the land of Israel. Hara Maria, Mount Maria, Shehim Nachalose, which is their inheritance in Jerusalem. Okay. We're good? Following? Okay. Vihira Baritz. And there was a famine in the land. And Avram went down to Egypt, Lagur Sham, to dwell over there, because it was a very heavy drought in the land. Rashi, Rav Ba'aretz, a famine in the land, but Esa Aretz Levada, in that loan itself, only in that land, because it says Ba'aretz. Ba'aretz is like in the land, not in land, in the land, which is the land that he's in, specifically only there. Right, as Rashi says. Why? Then say to test Avram if he's going to question the word of God. Because God told him, he told him to go to the land of Canaan. And now God is advising him, to leave it. So, hey, God, what do you want? You told me to go here, and now you want me to leave? What's going on? Which is interesting, because where does it say that God told him to leave? Rashi says God told him, right? The Akshav Mesiyai, let's say, Mesiyai. Okay, he's not like, okay, he's not telling him. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. No, he's not, Akshav Mesiyai, he's advising. Mesiyai, one second. It sounds like advising. I don't think he told him. I guess he's advising him by the fact that there is a famine. That's the way I'm understanding it, because the verse doesn't say, right? Here it's translating forcing him. How does it translate over there? Here it says now forcing him to leave. Here it translates it. Advising him. Let's be more precise way to translate. But in the context, forcing him. Okay. Was it, you have the English here? Was it saying? Yeah. Okay. Okay, number 11. Yeah. Rise and shine. Vahi kasher vahi, and it was kasher as he got close lovai to come to Egypt. Vayomer, and he said El Sarai. He said now to his wife, Sarah, Ishta, his wife. Hine, behold, na yadaiti. Please, I know. Ki isha yafas maret, that you are a woman of beautiful appearance. At you. Isn't that so nice? Saying about his wife. Look, you're so. Hine na yadaiti, now I know. Midrash Agada, the Agadic explanation of this ad akshav lahikibra. Until now, he didn't notice her beauty. Because of the modesty between them. But now we recognize her beauty through an incident. Through an incident. The Midrash says that he arrived at the Nile and Avram saw Sarah's reflection in river, water shining like the sun. Wow. That's Midrash. Why Rashi brings that first, I have no idea, because it's definitely not simple meaning, right? Alternatively, minhag ha'olam, this was the way of the world, what normally happens. Sha'al yedei Torah chadera, that through the strain of the road, Adam mizbaze, a person becomes unsightly. The Zois by Sarah, she remained beautiful despite the journey. Right? Usually, what happens? Your journey, right? You're not wearing your nicest clothes because you're traveling. You're not looking your best because of the the travels and so on and so forth. So yet she still looked beautiful. Okay. Pshuta shel mikra. Oh, listen, that was a second explanation. Now he says, but the simple meaning of the verse is, now behold, has come the time she yesh lidog, that there's what to concern al yafech concerning your beauty. Still now, I wasn't concerned about your beauty, right? Yadaiti means yamim rabim. I've known for many days, for a long time, that you are beautiful in appearance. But now we're coming. We're coming by really detestable people. They're the brothers of the Kushim. Right? If you remember, Mitzrayim and Cush, they were brothers that we learned in last week's parsha. And they were not accustomed to such a beautiful woman. We see similar to this. Now, behold, my Lord. So please, wow. Let's see one. Okay. You follow that? So the third explanation is, now I have to be concerned about your beauty because we're coming into a place where the people are, kind of low lice. Sorry for the term, but that's what it means, right? And they're going to see someone beautiful, as we'll see what the incident happens. Actually does happen, right? In tomorrow's class. Okay. So Rashi the verse continues, verse number 12. V'haya, and it will occur that when they will see you, Hamitzrim, the Egyptians, V'omru, Ishtazais, and they will say, "This is your wife?" V'hargoisi, and they'll kill me. V'isach yichayu, and you they will let live. Right? In other words, they want to take you. But if I'm married to you, so that that's a little not so easy for them to do that, right? So they'll kill me. So wait, oh, you're free now, and they'll take you, right? Ba'amar, last verse. Ba'amar na. Please say, please say that you're my sister. Lamani tavlich, in order they should do good for me, ba'avorech, because of you, and through you, my life will be spared. Lamani tavli ba'avorech, yitnu li matanas, they'll give me gifts, Rashi says. Which is so many questions on so much over here. No, but there's two things over here. Yitavli, good for me, right? Because of you. And because of you, I will live. So the good is not that I will live, because he just said I will live. So the good, Rashi says, it has to be something more. Gifts. So it seems to be the opposite. Two questions I have over here, and I think they're the Rebbe's. I know one of them for sure is the Rebbe's question. But wouldn't it be the opposite? First, I should live, and then I'll get gifts. In other words, they want to buy me off, right? That because you're only my sister, so what's going to happen? You're going to buy me off, so they're going to give the gifts. But isn't it first more important that I'm going to live? First, what's going to happen? I'm going to live, and then I'll get the gifts. Why is the gifts first, and then I'm going to live? It should be the opposite, right? And the more important question is, what is he doing over here? What's Avram doing? Said, tell him that you're my what? So I should benefit because they're going to abduct you? What the heck is going on over here? right? Well, I'm going to benefit from this. Like, hey, what's going to happen? Do you know what the answer is? You know what the answer is? Unbelievable sikha from the Rebbe. Let's see if we can. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, there's so much here. We could spend the whole year on just in this one. Okay. Okay, you got a moment? Ready? So, okay, again, the Rebbe's question over here. How could Avram request from Sarah that she should put herself into a place of danger, or that he's going to get gifts? The Zohar explains that through one's wife, a man merits his livelihood. So, huh?
For protecting themselves, he said that.
Sorry, I didn't catch.
No.
I didn't understand what you just said.
Okay, it's not because he wants to protect themselves.
What do you mean? Who wants to protect?
Within themselves. So
He didn't say that. No, how's he protecting her? Saying that you're my sister, right? If you're going to say that, if she's going to say I'm a sister to him, right? So they won't kill him, right? They won't kill him. That's right. But that's also giving an open. But that's not the question. Won't kill him. Okay, fine. We get that. What's the gifts? That I should get gifts out of this? You're going to be in danger, right? Because you're going to be taken, right? She's going to be abducted. And that's what happens. And indeed, tomorrow, as we will learn, right? But like he's saying all of this in order that he should get a gift from her abduction. How does that make sense, right? So one's merit in livelihood comes from one's wife, the Zohar says. But the Rebbe says that doesn't explain over here. So therefore, he's going to get his livelihood, right? So it doesn't. So the Rebbe explains that. Avram knew, as we will actually learn later, that she's greater than him. That's why God says everything she says, listen to. She's a great, as Rashi says, she's a greater prophet than he was a prophet, right? Greater prophetess. So she will not be, in her abduction, be hurt at all, right? Right. So he knew, right? But yet, okay, so that he's aware, but why should reward come from? What does it mean a reward that should come from this, right? To be put into such a situation in order that he should get gifts.
Yeah.
So the explanation is as follows: that God commanded Avram to go to the land of Eretz Yisrael. I'm going to make you great there, right? Avarechacha, what did Rashi say? B'mamon, with money. In other words, with wealth. You're going to get material wealth, right? Therefore, when Avram saw that there's now going to be b'derech hateva in a way that he will be able to get it, this wealth, right? How is he going to get it? By saying you're my sister. They will now want to buy me off, right? In your abduction, right? To appease me, right? They're not going to, if I was a husband, then they would kill me because, take a wife from a husband. Well, if he's dead, then you do, right? So, as a appease, right? will appease. So he saw, oh, this is what God wants. He's sending me down into Egypt, obviously, to gain wealth, because that's the blessing I got, right? But the Rebbe is not satisfied with this. He could still ask. Yeah, God's blessing you to get wealth, but why does Sarah have to be the kingpin over here? You know, that through taking her to Parai, that this is how you're going to get your wealth. God can give it another way. Why this way? That's why in the Zohar it says that the blessing of money that comes to the husband comes through the wife, right? And that's why Avram asked that when we go to Beis Parai, that I'm your sister, and others. It has to be through you being taken. I'm right, because my greatness or my wealth will come through you. This specifically has to be this way. Unbelievable. So, in other words, it's not. It's a positive thing that's happening over here, not a negative thing. It's a positive thing that she's being taken in order that it will be fulfilled, God's blessing. Wow. In other words, Avram understood that this is all God's plan, right? All God's plan, and therefore something good has to come out from it. Well, he just gave me a blessing for wealth, so this is what's going to come to wealth. A great nation is not going to come out through this incident, right? A great name, is not going to come out from this incident, but wealth will come from it, because it's through her, this abduction, that the great wealth will come. Wow. Unbelievable.
I think that also the third part, the blessing, that he doesn't have to worry about her being abducted.
Well, no, that already he got, because she's greater than him, and it's not possible. Remember, righteous people, nothing can ever happen to them without their okay, so to speak, right? Like the story with the Alter Rebbe going to prison, and with the Shmuel Munkus, should I go, not go, right? Anyways, so nothing can happen to them without their, so to speak, okay, if you will, right? So he knows nothing's going to happen to her. That he knows, right?
He found a way to get the blessing, the derech hateva.
But there has to be something good. Going to Egypt is not a bad thing. There's something. It has to be a good thing. It can't be that they're going there because externally there's a famine, but God's running the world, so it's all good. So what's the good that's coming out from here? Oh, God's blessing is going to come. They're going to get the wealth, and it has to be specifically this way, because wealth comes from one's wife. So it's going to be specifically this way. Wow. Unreal. Only the Rebbe could do this, by the way. Never in the history of the Jewish people, someone, as Rebbe, giving us an understanding of anything and everything